Citizens' juries are a different way of answering public policy questions. What we do is we bring together a cross-section of the public, people of different ages, genders, ethnicities, education, and we set them questions and inform them through expert witnesses who come and give presentations so that people understand better the questions they've got to answer. They work together in small groups and they come up with recommendations which we then put forward to public policy makers. It's basically a way of bringing the public into public policy.
So the citizen juries are about health data sharing in times of a pandemic. Before the pandemic, health data was really difficult to share, so there's lots of rules around it. And because of that, it was hard to really respond to the pandemic with the speed and at scale. So that's why the rules were changed. So there was temporary legal measures in place, the COPI notice, that allowed data to be shared more easily, but there was really little public engagement in informing that new policy. And that's why we decided to organise citizens' juries, because we need the public to have their say about this.
I do have a little knowledge, just from my own experience. I've been to other trusts where they had no knowledge of my previous medical history, and it was a problem for them.
The main reason that I applied for the Citizens Jury is that I found the subject matter really interesting. I thought it'd be quite a change to my day-to-day life, something a bit new.
And Stephen, we will have your one of your group's questions next, please.
What are the primary potential benefits of keeping the data store and platform once the pandemic ends?
How long should we keep the data? I think the data should be kept as long as it's valuable.
The process, initially there was a lot to take in, but as it moved along, you started to understand it more.
Well, our question is, in an ideal world, and perhaps given the current circumstances, how would you at Med Confidential like to see such an initiative like this planned, consulted and implemented?
Data sharing affects us all, but until we're really engaged with it, we don't really understand it, and we tend to think it's just something that happens for other people.
Well, to be honest, when I learned everything about the data sharing, I didn't realise that our data was being used. So at the start, I obviously was a bit unsure, but as the process went on, you did see the positives of how the data was being used.
I think the NHS policymakers and all the bigwigs at the top, they need to consult the general public, really.
It's helped during the pandemic because it's been faster to access information, to access research, so it's helped to save lives and make decisions.
But I think what we have to keep doing on a regular basis is scrutinising the data that is collected, how it's used and who it is shared with on a regular basis by an independent body, rather than just leaving it to the scientists or to politicians to make those decisions.
I think we should be allowed to still use the information that we've learned from and help other countries.
So once that report is there, we'll present it during a post-jury event where we get decision and policymakers in the room and show them the report, but also discuss with them how they could use it to inform future policies around data sharing in response to a public health emergency.
Yeah, it was a really good eye-opening experience. I felt lucky to be a part of it.